Good morning, everybody, and this is your S&P 500 day trade setups for today. And we are back at a pretty big level. I think that's pretty clear to see. I'm just gonna, I'm not gonna pick up the fractals on this. Well, actually, I should. Let me pick up that fractal there, because that'll probably intersect most of it. So look at the structure here. We were buying off this area here of 3797, which is basically 3800. Okay, so we're buying off 3800, trying to push up, fell below it, back above it, found support at 3800 here, broke below it, back above, broke below, back above. So with the S&P 500, these round numbers are critical. So you can see the move to the downside was pretty much into just below 3700, but 3700 was the area that was defended. So now we're back up to 3800. So obviously we need to gain that, find support there, and then we're looking for 3900, and then we should get to the ultimate target that I have been after for a while, which is 4000. So at the moment, nice grouping, nice crossover here on the 8-hour oscillators. We had a beautiful piercing pattern play out with a running away to the upside. So ultimately, I want to see a little bit of a pullback onto structure, and then I want us to break through 3800. So a little bit wary of jumping in right here. And if you look at your oscillators, we have diversions, pretty very clear diversions actually. So there you can see that while price is making new lows. And even if I do that, it still gives me diversions at the moment. So that's just something to bear in mind. The volatility is immense today, and today is the day. So we're looking for Alphabet and as a massive number, I think it's Alphabet and Amazon results that are today, but there are some other ones as well. Let me just open up my earnings calendar quickly, because kind of important to pay attention to this. So I mean, you can go to investing.com and you will see what is coming out, and obviously they're a little bit behind because we're already woken up. So you can see we've got Alphabet, we've got Amazon, and we have Alibaba, which is another fairly big one. Those are all tech stocks at the moment. So you know, if you just look at that, we're talking about, I said, $4 trillion worth of results that are coming out. So what we need to do is just be very careful with this one. Let's just get rid of this, and keep in the back of your mind that that is going to drive volatility. And normally their results come out after hours. Yeah, they're all coming out after the market close. So expect volatility, and this is driven by the S&P, sorry, not by the Nasdaq. This is driven by the Nasdaq that is moving to the upside. At the moment, I think the logical choice for me is to wait for some structure, and there's a nice bit of structure right here at 3782. Right, so let's get to what we're going to be trading. So you can see 3782 was pretty much what we tagged last night, and then kind of just sold off a little bit, and we've had this exhaustion bar up to 3800. There it is there, and if I just move that to the upside, you'll see that it'll be probably dead on 3800. 37999. Okay, so I'm a little bit off, but another lesson there, guys: never take the exact target, always drop it a couple of points below or above it, just to make sure that your limit gets triggered, because what these guys do is they ambush you just below those levels. Right, so I'm looking for pullback, and the most logical pullback is going to be here to 3782. Obviously the close of yesterday will also be important at 3775. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. This is a diagonal trend line, so a break above 3800 and retest definitely gets me long, not even thinking about that. But obviously a pullback onto structure gets me long as well, and a nice hold for a retest of the highs, I would assume, somewhere in that area there. which would be 38.60, and ultimately 3900 would be the next stop. I think, if you're looking at the noise at the moment, the results for Google and Amazon are expected to be fairly good. So the market will rally on that. And once that's done, then most of the big earnings are in, and it hasn't been a bad earnings season at all. Really hasn't been a bad earnings season. And then the next thing is stimulus. So when are we going to get the stimulus checks? So for me at the moment, I wait for the pullback on this, and then we're looking to buy into this and move to the upside. So I'm definitely looking for opportunities to buy. I'm not interested in anything else except buying on the S&P 500. And it's going to be volatile, so just bear that in mind. So if you can't handle the volatility, drop your position size, make it smaller, make your stop loss bigger, just to allow you to trade it. And I think for me, rule of thumb is, if you can go to sleep at night and not worry about your trade if it's still open, if your stop gets hit, then your position size is correct. So if your position size is too high, you're going to be stressing about that trade and not wanting to try and watch it and watch the chart and things like that. And that's a good indication that your position size is too big for you. So we're all different. Some of us can handle a lot bigger than others. Whereas if a lot of people, normal people, sort of get a bit of a cluster headache when they see something going against them and they're losing money. So just a bit of advice there, guys. Don't push the envelope. Wait for structure, and as time goes on, confidence brews, and then you start getting decent position sizes in, and you start picking up on the levels. But fear of missing out is one of the biggest problems that we all have, and don't fall into that trap. Okay, so we are at structure. Not interested to short this. Bear that in mind. I have no interest in shorting this. I'm looking for opportunities to buy, so I'm looking for pullback onto structure, which should let this oscillator also ease off. And my advice to you is 15 minutes again. Look at the 15 minute here. You can see here it started grouping, had a bit of a sell-off, crossed over quite far apart, and then still trending to the upside. And you can see here we've had our sort of one-day trend down, it was a couple of days trend down, then we broke the upside, failed. Hasn't really tested that 150. That 150 is quite far down. So there's another little level for you as well, which is here in this area here, 37.60. That's another decent area. So those are the areas I'm watching for an entry long. So the first one is going to be 37.82. The next one is going to be 37.75, and then we're going to have 37.59 or 60. I don't see, well, I do see all the way down here are gaps. I don't think that's going to transpire. But anyway, this is kind of the view that I've got at the moment. So you can see we are traveling along this trend line. That is also normal. If we break above it, come back and test the level, then that trend line is gone. Okay, so at the moment we're on the trend line. There's no real clear decision making there. So it needs to go well above it, come back, test it, or come back and test a level above it and then start turning. That would also get me long. Okay, anyway, that's waffle from me. Wait for the pullback, or wait for the break and retest, and then long it is. Hope that helps, and we'll catch up with you bright and breezy in the morning. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Cheers for now.